Hi, I'm Robbie Bobby, grateful member of ACA. The topic of this video is Know Your Rights. ACA has a piece of literature titled the ACA Bill of Rights, which, in my opinion, is brilliant, especially when you place it between the laundry list and the promises, as it creates a bridge between the two. The Bill of Rights then become your passport to the promises. If you're new to ACA, the laundry list is the personality profile of an adult child of alcoholics. It represents the effects of growing up in an alcoholic or otherwise dysfunctional home. The laundry list is also known as the 14 traits. A common reading at ACA meetings titled The Problem is actually the laundry list in narrative form. In other words, the laundry list is the problem. The promises, on the other hand, represents what recovery looks like. And the Bill of Rights help you to get there, and more importantly, to stay there. In this video, I'll look at the first 3 traits, as well as the first 3 Bill of Rights and promises. However, there are a total of 14 traits, 20 Bill of Rights, and 12 promises. You can find them all on ACA's main website, adultchildren.org. Okay, we'll start with the traits, and I'll put this all up on the screen. 1. We became isolated and afraid of people and authority figures. 2. We became approval seekers and lost our identity in the process. 3. We are frightened by angry people and any personal criticism. And now on to the first 3 rights. 1. I have the right to say no. 2. I have the right to say I don't know. 3. I have the right to be wrong. And now the first 3 promises. 1. We will discover our real identities by loving and accepting ourselves. 2. Our self-esteem will increase as we give ourselves approval on a daily basis. 3. Fear of authority figures and the need to people please will leave us. All right, let's look at the first trait. We became isolated and afraid of people and authority figures. And it's the fear that makes me isolate. And if I'm afraid of any person, including any of the numerous synonyms of fear, then chances are I've made that person an authority figure. And as an authority figure, they will have, in my mind, certain demands and expectations of me. This is what I fear. So if I realize that I have the right to say no, the right to say I don't know, and the right to be wrong, that dials down my fear, and the need to isolate diminishes on its own. Let's look at the second trait. We became approval seekers and lost our identity in the process. Well, seeking approval in and of itself is not a problem, but seeking approval to the point of losing my identity, that is a problem. Why do I do this? Because in my ACA mind, I'm not enough. And the only way to get approval is to say yes when I want to say no, to have all the answers and to be right all the time. Perfectionism. The right to say no, the right to not know, and the right to be wrong neutralize this trait. Now the third trait, we are frightened by angry people and any personal criticism. Well, if I have the right to be wrong, then it takes the sting out of any perceived criticism, right? And as the traits dial down or collapse, the promises take their place. We will discover our real identities. Our self-esteem will increase. Fear of authority figures and the need to people please will leave us. Okay, so it's pretty clear that the ACA Bill of Rights are important and can help us move into the promises. However, there is one caveat. If you don't know your rights, you don't have any rights. Therefore, know your rights. We all know our constitutional rights. We know we have freedom of speech. We know we have freedom of religion. And thanks to television, we know our Miranda rights. The right to remain silent and the right to an attorney are guaranteed in the Fifth and Sixth Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. However, our Miranda rights, based on a U.S. Supreme Court decision, is our right to know our rights. Yes, when it comes to these two amendments, we have the right to know our rights. Not so with our ACA Bill of Rights. We are responsible for knowing them, and more importantly, for exercising them. Luckily, the entire ACA program was designed to help you exercise these rights, so take full advantage of it. And one final comment. Like everything in program, these rights have to be practiced over and over again before they become second nature. And like the steps, the goal is to exercise these rights in all of our affairs, which means there are many opportunities to practice them. I will now end this video by reading all 20 rights. I have the right to say no. I have the right to say I don't know. I have the right to be wrong. I have the right to make mistakes and learn from them. I have the right to detach from anyone whose company I feel humiliated and manipulated. I have the right to make my own choices and decisions in my life. I have the right to grieve any actual or perceived loss. I have the right to all of my feelings. I have the right to feel angry, including towards someone I love. I have the right to change my mind at any time. I have the right to a spiritually, physically, and emotionally healthier existence, though it may differ entirely or in part from my parents' way of life. I have the right to forgive myself and to choose how and when I forgive others. I have the right to take healthy risks and to experiment with new possibilities. I have the right to be honest in my relationships and to seek the same from others. I have the right to ask for what I want. I have the right to determine and honor my own priorities and goals and allow others to do the same. I have the right to dream and to have hope. I have the right to be my true self. I have the right to know and nurture my inner child. And number 20, I have the right to laugh, to play, to have fun, and the freedom to celebrate this life right here, right now. These rights are titled the ACA Bill of Rights, but I think they could just as well be titled the Codependence Bill of Rights. So please share this video with both your ACA and Al-Anon friends. I'm Robbie Bobby. Thank you for listening. Keep coming back and know your rights.